This barbecue turkey skillet meal prep is another lighter recipe for anyone who needs meals that are on the lower calorie side. Made up of ground turkey, sweet potatoes, red peppers, and barbecue sauce, this one comes in at around 494 calories and it can be finished with ease in under 45 minutes. Let's get to cooking. The sweet potatoes take the longest to cook, so start out with those to utilize your time as efficiently as possible. Take 2 good-sized sweet potatoes or 600 grams worth and cut them into a large dice. Sweet potatoes, especially the big ones, can be tough to cut, so make sure you are using a sharp knife and use the weight of that knife to help you slice through the potatoes. I don't bother peeling the skin off my potatoes because it takes too long and I just don't care all that much, but if the skin freaks you out, feel free to tell it to get lost. Once your potatoes are diced up, transfer them into a large bowl and drizzle over 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of oil with a light sprinkling of salt and pepper. Toss those sweet potatoes around in the oil until they are evenly coated and then spread them out on a large sheet pan, giving them plenty of space between the pieces so that they can properly roast. If your pan is notoriously sticky, it might be necessary to give it a light spray of oil. These are going to go into a 425°F or 218°C oven for 20 minutes, flipping halfway through. While the potatoes are in the oven, wash and cut the remainder of your vegetables. Take 1 medium red bell pepper or 150 grams and cut it into a small dice. The same can be done with 1 small onion or 125 grams worth. Cut the onion into a dice to match the size of your peppers. Next, take 1 bunch of rinsed dino kale or 100 grams of the leaves and remove the tough stems from the center. Dino kale, while still earthy and wretched, is worlds better tasting than regular kale is. Roughly chop these leaves into smaller pieces. They're going to wilt further when they are dropped into the hot skillet. Transfer the chopped kale into a bowl and give it a light sprinkling of salt and about 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of lemon juice. This, along with a quick massage, is going to help take some of the bitterness from the leaves. Squeeze the kale leaves in your hand 10 or so times and you should be good. It doesn't deserve any more than that. Around this time, your sweet potatoes will be ready to turn, so pull the pan from the oven and throw the spatula through them a few times to stir them around. Place the sheet pan back into the oven to finish up for an additional 10 minutes or so, or until they have browned to your preference. Now heat a large skillet over medium-high heat and pour in 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of oil. Then place in 2 pounds or 908 grams of 93.7 ground turkey. This turkey shown here is so white in color because it's actually 97.3 ground turkey. The store was wiped clean of all the good stuff, so I had to use what they had. If you really wanted to use the leaner option, you could, but I highly suggest the 93.7 ground meat because it's going to make it taste better. Give the turkey a chance to brown and cook before you go breaking it up. When the underside is ready, you can turn the meat over to the other side and start to break it up into bite-sized chunks. Let it continue cooking over the heat until it's about 90% of the way finished and almost no pink remains. While that turkey is still going in the pan, my potatoes finished up in the oven, so I pulled the tray from the oven, stirred them around a bit, and then set the tray aside until I needed it for later. Once that turkey is around that 90% cooked mark, either create some space in the center of your pan if it's big enough, or remove it entirely and add in a half of a tablespoon or 8 grams of oil to cook the vegetables in. Dump in your red peppers and onions to the center of the pan and season lightly with salt to help encourage the moisture to come out faster. Give the onions and peppers time in the heat to start to develop color and brown before adding in the kale. When the onions are starting to become translucent, then you can stir and pour in all of the kale. Mix all of the vegetables and the meat together and allow the kale to wilt in the heat for a minute or so. While that happens, Daddy needs to stack some cheddar, so a quick 60 seconds from the sponsor of today's video, Helix Sleep. Everybody knows you've got to train hard and eat well to grow muscle, but so many people overlook the importance of sleep. Every time I've made leaps in my progress, it has come at a time where I was able to get good sleep. Too many people love to buy hundreds of dollars worth of supplements and then sleep for 4 hours a night and wonder why they're not making any progress. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are custom fit to your needs and delivered straight to your door. Back in my day, you used to have to drive to the big city to get a mattress from the furniture store. Now they bring it right to your house wrapped up in a box with a book that I'm clearly not going to read. Helix has a sleep quiz that will fit you with the mattress based on your sleep preferences and body type. Give the quiz some of your stats and it will spit out the mattress perfect for you. I got the Helix Dusk mattress that I've had for a few months now, and my favorite part about it is the Glacio Tex cooling cover to help me stay cool at night. Each mattress has financing options with flexible payment plans as well as a 10-year warranty. Each mattress comes with a 100-night sleep trial to make sure it's the perfect mattress for you. So if you're in the market for a new bed, check out Helix. You can click the link in the description or go to helixsleep.com/Josh Cordes to get 20% off your Helix mattress plus 2 free pillows. Alright, cheddar has been stacked, now let's get back to business and talk barbecue sauce. There are enough barbecue sauce choices at the grocery store to last you a lifetime. I have a hard and fast rule for picking out sauces where the best ones almost always have labels that look like they were made in Microsoft Paint. I think a vinegar-based Carolina-style barbecue sauce is the best choice for this recipe, so take a look at the labels and find one with vinegar on the ingredient list in the first or second position. This is the one I'm using because it came free with something else I bought, and I'm not just going to pass that up. We're in a recession. Into the skillet with the meat and vegetables, add 5 tablespoons or 75 grams of the barbecue sauce and stir it in until it is well combined. Next, take your roasted sweet potatoes and add them to the party as well. I like to sauce the meat and vegetables before adding the potatoes because sometimes potatoes can act like dirty little sponges and steal all of the sauce. So, to ensure better coverage, I just wait to add the potatoes. Then mix it all together to make sure everything is evenly incorporated, give it a taste test, and adjust the flavors as needed with salt, pepper, or more barbecue sauce. This recipe is going to make 5 portions, so lay out 5 meal prep containers and divide the contents of the skillet evenly between the 5. I know I've said it 37 times before, but I always have to make sure I repeat it for new viewers. I just eyeball the division. If you want it to be perfectly even, weigh and measure the food. If you eat each of these 5 meals by the end of the week, it won't make a difference if one has slightly more or less than another because it's all going to even out over the course of your eating. With this barbecue turkey skillet meal prep, each serving has about 494 calories and 37 grams of protein. These meals will last for up to 5 days in the fridge. When they've cooled a bit and they're no longer steaming, you can place the lids on top and then move them into the fridge to be stored for the week. When lunch rolls around and it's feeding time, pull a meal out of the fridge and reheat it with your method of choice. I put mine in the microwave for 1.5 to 2 minutes, but you can also use a toaster oven or put it back into the skillet if you really wanted to. After it comes out of the microwave, sometimes I add a bit more barbecue sauce to the top, sometimes I don't, depends on the day. When it comes to weight loss or fat loss during a cutting phase, there are 2 variables that I put a focus on first: calories and protein. Calories will always be king in making any changes in your body weight. To lose weight, the amount of calories you eat needs to be less than the amount of calories that you expend. It's all one big math problem at its core. Obviously, there are other variables that play into the weight loss equation, but your calorie intake should be at the front of the list. If you are consistently at or under your calorie goal for energy balance, you will lose weight. Protein intake takes second place on my list of importance when I am trying to slim down a bit. Higher protein intakes have been shown to be more beneficial for weight loss for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's the most satiating macronutrient. Number 2, it requires the most energy to metabolize out of all the macronutrients. 1 gram of protein per pound of my target body weight is usually what I shoot for when I'm setting my goals for calorie intake. Recipes like this one can be a good choice for weight loss because it's low in calories, has a decent dose of protein, and it's filling. The full written recipe for these barbecue turkey skillets with the instructions are published on my website, and that is linked in the description below. Add this one to your list of meals for the next time you're looking for something on the lower calorie side. It's incredibly easy to make, and you should be able to get in and out of the kitchen in a flash. See you next week. Sayonara.